asking for this though. That's what I'm wondering. Do people go to Rockstar? Now, they had a frat boy culture. They had a shitty reputation inside their industry. And if it was true that the female developers were not making as much as the males, putting in the same amount of work, we've talked about that. Listen, case in point, not to get too but we always talk about your sister as an example. She's a genius. She makes a shit ton of money, and she deservedly so. She's a female who has a very high level job. Not going to say where, but I mean, do you go around going, "Oh, it's not fair. I'm a man. I should make more money than my sister," even though she's highly educated, super smart, works for a major corporation, and basically runs a division in that corporation. But you know what? She's a woman. Nah, she doesn't deserve her money.
Yeah.
It's like, no. We're the first people to cheer her on.
Exactly.
Besides it being family for you, even me, I'm like, your sister's awesome. I'm like, good for her. She deserves everything she gets because she worked hard for it. So this here, though, is just, I'm at a point with video games now. I got to screen my video games. How pathetic have we gotten?
That's what it's turned into, man. I'm the same way. I will wait, see what some critics say, critics that I trust.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to see what they have to say about it. And I'm not even just talking like woke stuff. It could just be anything, like gameplay. Is it polished? Is the game finished? Or even so, the woke stuff, like, oh, there's, some woke undertones or what. And if it is, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, because it gets to a point where even in video games, you don't want to be preached to. It's funny, to change the subject real quick. I'm watching the original Lord of the Rings trilogy recently, and I'm just sitting here going, I can't believe how bad Amazon is going to fuck this up with this show, because reading more into it, they've changed so much backstory, and they keep mentioning these words in interviews like, oh, this is what we think Tolkien would have wanted. This is what we think the direction he would have went. It's like, no, you don't know that because he's not here to answer those questions. Now, if he came back and said, yeah, I'm okay with this, fine. I guess you just have to give it up. But you're taking, again, this is kind of similar to one of the next stories we're going to go into here in a second, as to similar to you're taking established franchises, established characters, and change this next one. Oh, God. All right, Tanner, get ready for this, because we're going to jump right into this.
Don't do it.
Everybody on this panel, anybody who's listening, knows Star Wars. We all love, you don't have to love Star Wars, but you know what it is. You could live in a cave for 100 years. You could have been Osama living in a cave for 30 years your whole life and know what Star Wars is. Everybody knows Luke Skywalker. Everybody knows Obi-Wan. May I say Obi-Wan Kenobi? You like what I did? So the new Star Wars book that's coming out suggesting that Obi-Wan Kenobi is bisexual. So at first glance, I read this and I go, okay, I got to look more into this. So I read about it. And I want to get to the point. Oh, God. I love the pop-ups that just keep popping up. So there's a character in the book. Now, again, this is somebody who I want to say works for Disney, who wrote a book. So this is not based on anything that George Lucas wrote or any. This is new. This is fresh, right? This is fresh pre Obi-Wan becoming who he was. So people on social media went nuts because of this. There's a passage here where a character in the book, and we're going to read this here. It says, "Not many choices around here. I don't think love is in my future either. And I am fine with that. As long as I have the power to keep my family safe, that's enough for me. Though I will admit, I've been curious about kissing and why, I don't know how to pronounce these names, Auj and Zabri enjoy it so much. So even if you're curious too, let me know." So basically it gets down here where Obi-Wan blushed when a male said this to him. And Obi-Wan said, "I will let you know. I mean, not that I will do that right now or anyone. Would you ever?" And so basically, would you ever get to a point where kissing someone felt like anything less than a betrayal of himself and the Jedi? And if we got to that point, who would he want to kiss? And then of course it goes into saying how basically in a suggestive way that Obi-Wan might be down for kissing some dudes. Why not? Obi-Wan canonically confirmed as bi is a win for the history book, somebody said on social media. Is this a win for the history books, Tanner?
In my opinion, no. It's not.
It was never indicated that he was homosexual or bi, ever.
It wasn't
until
even.
This came out.
This is what bothers me. I mean, that already bothers me enough. It was never indicated in the past that he was heterosexual. There was no hints at him having relationships. Like, where is this?
Because Jedi's didn't. Well, we know where it's coming from because
exactly, and that's what
this is
me.
what. Yeah, and again, people could say, "Well, what's it matter? What's it matter?" Well, what matters is that if you're not intelligent enough or articulate enough to come up with your own characters to write about, what's driving people crazy about what Disney has been doing lately, what they're doing with every legacy character that's been established, is that they're taking their ideals, coming in and pushing these narratives. Now, again, what does it matter if Batman's gay? What does it matter if Spider-Man's gay? What does it matter if Obi-Wan's gay? It matters because it's not canon. It was never established. It was never. Now, if there were hints at these characters being somewhat of a bisexual nature, gay, whatever, back how many years ago when these characters were created, okay, like it really wasn't a big deal back then. It wouldn't be a big deal to me. This is just getting to a point where they're basically saying it without saying it, and they don't care. I mean, they just don't care. And they're going to continue to do this. Disney is going down this path where they're just destroying everything they've created with Marvel and Star Wars. They've ruined these franchises. You remember when Iron Man first came out, the first movie? Yeah, I thought it was a very good movie. Yeah, great movie. I didn't love the first Captain America movie. It was okay. But you could see as they went along, they started to kind of change. And then by Endgame, it was really just woke town. But that's probably the last really good Marvel movie that I can think of that I actually enjoyed. Endgame was like the end of that first tier of. I'm not saying the movie itself was great, but I'm saying like before they really went crazy with the woke feminist nonsense. But this is like now you're turning Obi-Wan possibly into, and then people are like, "Oh, this is great." It's like, no, it's not about you, dude. It's not about you. It's not about what you feel. If you can see yourself in a character, I hate when people say that. Well, I can finally see myself, and nobody looks like me on TV. It's like, well, I love stories about ancient Greece. I like stories about the Revolutionary War. In the Revolutionary War, I didn't see too many people, with eating pizza and. Who look like, maybe they, I mean, I'm not saying they didn't fight in the war, but it's like, I don't care, man. Sometimes it's good to take yourself out of something. And like, why is this important though? Where does this end? Do people get so fed up that this stuff just goes away? Or is this Disney's end? This is their thing. This is their game plan. They're going to go as far as they can go before they break it.
I think they're going to go as far as they can go because I feel like there is a large percentage of people out there that are very on board with this kind of movement. And it really pisses me off because I want to make it very clear to anyone out there watching right now. I don't care about the LGBTQ whatever community. As far as if you want to be in a gay, lesbian, bisexual relationship, by all means, knock yourself out.
100%
more power to you. I wish you nothing but the best in life.
Right.
But when you're taking well-known established characters, like I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. Okay. I like Star Wars. It's good. But the idea of what they're doing with Obi-Wan here, let me switch it to Batman because I'm a Batman guy. If they try to do something like this with Bruce Wayne, I would absolutely lose my mind.
Oh, they did already though, remember?
Right. So you're taking a character that's been around since 1939. Okay, well established, storylines all over the place, and you're all of a sudden going to just change the lore. Hey, you know what? It's 2022. We need Bruce Wayne to be bisexual.
We need him to be more like everybody else.
First off, no, don't do that. He's an established character. He has backstory. He has lore. Just don't mess with the character. If you want there to be more, like you touched on a little bit ago, people out there seeing quote unquote themselves on the movie screen. Okay, fine. I'm cool with that. You want to see a redheaded, pale-skinned bisexual Batman because you happen to be a redheaded bisexual guy.
A ginger.
Okay, I understand that that's what you want to see, but that's not what Batman is.
No.
So quit trying to make old, well-established characters into your own little thing.
Yeah.
Make it like your boy from the Ripperverse.
Yeah.
Make your own character.
Make your own character. And don't put politics into it.
Right. Like if you're DC or Marvel and you're like, hey, I want to make a new character and it's going to be this. Perfect. I have no problem with that because that's that character's lore from the get-go. Yeah. It'll never change. So, I mean, imagine all of a sudden I just decide, you know what? I'm going to reboot freaking Black Panther. And Black Panther is going to be a white kid from Southern California who's a surfer dude, but he's going to travel to Wakanda and take over the freaking kingdom.
Well, see, that's the difference. We be labeled racist and this, and where they don't see it that way. They see themselves as the victim. And again, like you said before, when you started your little speech there, I don't. You want to be LGBTQ? You want to be? I don't care. But don't tell me that I'm transphobic, I'm misogynist, I'm racist because you're taking a character like this is, dude. I mean, I know we've talked about this a lot, and I'm really emphasizing on this. I think what's going on with the Lord of the Rings stuff is that people have been kind of accepting of the Star Wars stuff. Now they have a huge fan base. People aren't happy about it. But Lord of the Rings fans are different. They're very loyal because it's a specific niche audience, right? They're very loyal to the books.
Yes.
This show coming out is getting down ratioed so heavily that Amazon is just really trying to jump ahead of it. And I swear to God, Tanner, every interview I've seen and every person that's a different nationality, different sex, different race, it's the number one talking point. Oh, this one lady who's playing a black dwarf says, I'm the first black dwarf ever to be in this world. And then the guy, and I saw a video today of somebody like, that's not true. They pointed out like all the different, maybe they were background characters. Okay, so you're the first main. What is that important for? What does that mean? You're taking first of all, the story is not based on lore because the showrunners wrote this on their own, and then like we talked about before the show, they're saying, well, this is what we think Tolkien would want. No, don't be naive. That's pretty damn ballsy to say I would know what one of the best authors ever would want based on what I've read from his. No, don't imply, don't assume. I'd rather them just be honest and say, no, we want to make a woke show. And they keep saying, no, it's not woke. It's not woke. But it's going down this path. I almost want to watch it just to see how bad it is. And
I'm definitely going to watch it.
I think I want to see it because I want to hate watch it and I want to make videos about it. And then also I watched like I was saying, I watched the original trilogy today. They showed some of the CGI. Now we know the old ones, the CGI, some of it doesn't hold up because it was made 20 years ago.
Yeah,
some of it looks pretty bad. Some of it's okay. Some of the side-by-side shots with $1 billion show compared to, these days, it looks better in 2001 through 2003 or 4, whatever the movies were out. Amazon, it just looks cheap. I don't know. I'm sorry, but yeah, stories like that with Obi-Wan, it's like, what are you doing? What is the end game here? Well, say you do get what you want. Every character. Now, and somebody pointed out in the comments, they made Superman bisexual with the gay pride flag instead of and he can't say what is it, truth, justice, in the American way anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's derogatory and offensive to people. Is it? Who's asking for these things? Like, who's coming out and saying, "Oh, this offends me"? It's like the 1%, the minority of these psychopaths that's ruining it for the rest of us, and hence why DC Comics and Marvel Comics have plummeted in sales, and Rippaverse has made $3.5 million in just 2 weeks. I'm sorry, he's giving people what they want, and he's a black character. He made from scratch, no politics, no woke. Bunch of other people in the comic from different nationalities and races. Nobody's batting an eye about that. No, and he's being called the white supremacist, even though he's a black male, by the way, because he's a libertarian.
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, speaking of Disney and the shit network that they have, Here's my next story I want to get into because this is a fun one. So Hulu came out recently, and I know a lot of people probably have Hulu or know who Hulu is. Came out recently and said, you know what? We're not going to have political ads for the midterms coming up in our ad tier subscriptions because we just don't want to get involved. Well, does anybody know who owns a majority of Hulu? That would be Disney. Disney owns a major majority. And so basically they own Hulu in every sense of the word. So this is what happened right at like 1 or 2 days after they said, we're not going to get involved. Guess what? Disney said, no, you're getting involved because, we don't need any backlash. So they basically caved Hulu and said, you know what? Yeah, we'll allow Democrat. It was Democratic ads specifically is what they didn't want to add because so obviously they weren't going to allow Republican ads, and they said Democratic ads. Nah, sorry. They got so much backlash online that they said, yeah, you can go ahead and show them now. It's cool. So anything that's anti-gun, pro-abortion, all that's going to be allowed now. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that if Republicans or conservatives wanted to put their commercials on a Hulu platform, they would allow it if they're pro-gun, anti-abortion? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's going to go one-sided with Disney owning majority of Hulu? Let's put our thinking caps on here for a second.
I think it's probably going to be a no-go.
And this buddy here is listening in. One of my Met buddies on social media. He nails it. Yeah, go. He's right. They get more radical, and you know what the fun? Nobody wants to hate to really be angry with these people, but they make it hard. So yeah, I'm sorry, Tanner. You were saying what do you think of this? Like Hulu basically just said, you know what? Yeah, we'll cower, we'll bend the knee, as they say, because Disney's Daddy's telling us we have to allow this now. Do you think if Hulu said no and stuck to their guns that anybody would cancel their subscriptions over this?
No, they wouldn't. Yeah. And I think more people would respect Hulu for doing that.
Right. I agree.
Because I know a lot of people, myself included, and I've said this before in previous shows, I'm a somewhat conservative guy, but I don't want politics in anything that I watch.
100%.
Even the example we used before was football. I don't care if there's some super hardcore Second Amendment, guns and beer and football, preaching about Trump and this and that. I don't want to see that. Okay. I'm watching football to watch football. So if I'm on Hulu and all of a sudden they speak out and say, you know what, we don't want political ads on our freaking platform.
It's true.
More power to you. And I'm going to stick with Hulu because
100%.
I don't want that. And I know a lot of people who don't. So right. I think it's a bad move for Hulu as a company. Now I understand, like you said, Disney owns the majority of Hulu, so it's kind of like
big majority. I forgot what the number was. It's a pretty big, it's massive. They own most of it basically, so they have the majority control. Yeah,
yeah. So what Daddy says goes when it comes to Hulu, but I think they're going to lose members because of that.
It's really just sad that, like you said, you're already paying for a service, and then then you have to be told. It's just sad that they have to be told that or cave to this, because this is all this is. It's all these corporations do. They cave to these people. They cave to them. Now Disney owning Hulu, if your boss tells you you have to do this, it's like okay, but I don't like this, and it's only going to get worse. Like I have a Hulu account that I barely watch. I think you do. I do the Hulu thing where it's like, $1 a month every Black Friday. I just switched to the new account. I honestly, it comes to the point where I'm looking to cut back. I've talked to you about this, cut back on subscription services in general. There's just too many of them. Trying to save money in areas. Not that I need the money. It's unnecessary spending in some cases. And this is the first. Hulu was the first one that was going to go in December when the renewal came back up. But this just makes me, and then you contemplate, do I really want to get rid of it? Do I like some of their shows? And this just so sealed the deal, stamped it for me, done. You are out. But it's like, yeah, where does this end? And my buddy Greg in the comments said it. It's fun. He says the funniest thing is, it's sad that Democrats, they race bait, and they do, but they actually do the least for the African American community. And he's not wrong. I mean, you can say what you want. You can hate comment on this. You can call me whatever you want. He's not lying, because what do they really do but just create more victims? I know people that I follow on YouTube. I know people that I know personally that are black, and they agree. And they're more maybe libertarian, independents more than conservatives, but they don't disagree, and they create their own businesses. They have great jobs. They did it all on their own. Not to say that they didn't face any kind of racism or whatever, but they never use it as a crutch. And what do Democrats really actually do for that community besides just tell them that they're victims and get people to? They're good at making people believe that they are, and we're gonna keep. Trump. The reason why Trump, when he came in, got a lot of that community on his side. He's like, "What do you have to lose?" It's like, what do you have to lose? And they bought into it, but. I don't know about you, man. I'm just getting we're already sick and tired of this stuff. And it's like, when? And it's a Disney product. Like, what the hell happened to that company?
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Because Disney started out as a, lovey-dovey childhood cartoons, family friendly. Then they took over Marvel.
Yep.
Then they took over freaking Star Wars. And it just gets to this point where all these franchises that, again, I don't love. Like, I don't absolutely love Marvel, and I don't love Star Wars, but I follow it and I watch it and I read I used to read like X-Men all the time when I was a kid.
Me too.
Now, luckily, a lot of the X-Men movies weren't. Disney didn't get their hands on it, so they're not terrible, but
it's still not a good look. Yeah, it's not a good look.
I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to keep on going. It's going to keep getting worse.
Not with them, it's not.
I think Marvel movies are going to get worse. They're going to get more political. They're going to get more, quote unquote, woke.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. I think you're right. I think they're in full go. Yeah, I don't see an end in sight anytime soon. They don't care, but they will start caring because their movies are not doing as well as they had thought. Even the new Thor movie, it broke even. It probably will profit, but not to the point of what they thought. That's where they're going to get hurt. And their TV shows are trash. I mean, they're literal trash. Just throw them away. I'm going to go on this quick side story here because I personally, this is going to be really fast because I can't stand this person. But I saw this today and I actually laughed. I saw Samantha Bee from Full Front. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers Samantha Bee. Literally probably one of the most unfunny comedians or TV hosts I have ever seen in my life. I never watched her show, but occasionally she would pop up, on YouTube, algorithm, whatever. Are you sad that she got fired, Tanner? I mean, didn't you watch Samantha Bee all the time?
I can't say that I ever had the pleasure of actually watching her show, while it was on. I did see some clips here and there.
Right.
She is not funny at all.
Ugh, awful.
She's on the level of like a Stephen Colbert, just unwatchable. So no, I'm not sad at all.
I didn't want to spend too much time on her because she's not worth the time. But I remember I was watching Matt Walsh on the Daily Wire, watching clips of her, and he's like, "Let's see." This is really funny because he was like, "Let's see if she deserved to get fired." And you know how he is with his stoic face; he doesn't really express much. He's just sitting there, and at the end, he goes, "Wow." He's just like, I can't see why she would have been fired. It was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, very political. I don't know how the hell she lasted as long as she did. Nobody ever watched her show. Her ratings were terrible. I mean, who knows? Knowing her, she'll get another show somewhere else. Hopefully not, and nothing I'll ever watch. But but she'll be claimed a hero, because she's a female and blah 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 blah. But it's like, I really just. I don't understand how these people get jobs in the first place. It really baffles me. And I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time on her. So we got Tim back in the comments.
Hey.
My buddy Tim. And he's Matt Walsh. Yeah, buddy Tim, I don't know why he had a thing with Matt Walsh. He never explained why he didn't like Matt Walsh. Did he ever explain to you why and then all of a sudden he turned.
Well,
now he likes Matt Walsh. So
what started it is he was ripping Matt Walsh for just his physical appearance. He said he looked like a pedophile. And then he went on to say that he was a little too extreme, like he wasn't open-minded like Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder, is that his name?
Yeah, Steven Crowder, the comedian. Yeah.
Louder
Yeah.
with
I like both of them. I like Steven Crowder too.
My favorite is the freaking angry Jew.
Oh, my boy Shapiro.
Shapiro's the best.
Shapiro is the best. He really, I don't always agree with every take he has, but I do respect the man for just. He just tells it like it is. He's not afraid, and he's too smart. He's just out debate you because he's just too smart. He's too knowledgeable, even when he's wrong. Is it because wait, I've got a comment. Is because he's confused. He confused him on what is a woman. By the way, if anybody's out there who hasn't seen What Is a Woman yet, incredible documentary. I don't know if you've watched that yet either, buddy, but if you haven't,
I still have not seen it.
Unbelievable. Great documentary. All right, so I know we're going to have some time at the end just to bullshit. There was a lot of stories today, but I just wanted to get through some of these quickly. I want to get to this one you told me about, and then I researched this. This story here has some parallels to what we talked about before the show with Brittany Griner. You being ex-military, I want to know tell us about what happened here and tell us about how you feel about this and compare it to the Brittany Griner situation.
So, yeah, I brought this up to you because, I mean, like you said, I'm a military guy, so it kind of like piqued my interest.
Sure, of course.
So this guy's a lieutenant in the Navy. He's serving his time in Japan, and he's with his wife and 3 kids, and they get in a car accident.
Okay.
Now, again, it was an accident. There was no negligence. He wasn't intoxicated. He wasn't under the influence. Basically, what the doctors reported was he had like a high altitude, like fainting spell kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Where he just kind of blacked out behind the wheel. Okay. So, I mean, that sucks for sure.
Yeah.
So he ends up getting in a car accident and he kills the drivers in the other vehicle.
I gotcha.
Now, he got charged by, the Japanese police. I don't know.
Their laws. Yeah.
Yeah, they're law enforcement officers over there. And currently he's going to be serving 3 years in prison in Japan. Now, I have really mixed feelings about this whole thing. And like you talked about.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because, and not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but I was asking Jamie about this yesterday, and I was like, I want to see where you thought, because, he's a military man, he's got a family, but he's also in a foreign country. So I think I might know where you're going with this, because it's like in one view, it's like, well, he's got to abide by their laws, right? He's a guest technically, but hey, start there. Start there. What you think about him being arrested and the sentencing and everything.
So it really pains me because there's a lot of parallels that people keep trying to bring up between this incident and the Brittany Griner thing.
Right.
Now, extreme surface level. Sure, some American citizen broke the law in another country and they're serving time. Okay. Yes, at the very basic level, that's very accurate. But the situations are a little bit different here. It's this guy's serving in the military with his family. He's stationed there. Granted, he's not a citizen, fair enough, but it's an accident. And I even read in the story that the military basically paid the family like as a condolence thing, like because there's some Japanese tradition there where like if someone's killed or wounded,
they take care of it
to the point that they're like disabled, you offer them like a condolence. There's a word for it in Japanese, and I'll butcher it if I try to say it, but
no, I think I understand.
Yeah, like you offer them like hey, I'm so sorry this happened. It was a freak accident. Here's X amount of money, whatever. So, okay, he's trying to make a wrong right, and the government is trying to do it. The Navy got involved, but Japanese officials were still like, no, you're still going to serve your prison sentence in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said a little bit ago, I have very mixed feelings about this because on one side of it, I understand completely. Hey, if that's Japanese law, that's Japanese law. It is what it is.
Yeah. Right.
But at the same time, again, a lot of people, those quote unquote people who are like pro Brittany Griner, like Tim. Tim loves Brittany Griner. He wants to bring her back.
He wants to marry her.
Yeah. I mean, she's a solid 1.5 feet taller than him, but that's okay.
Yeah, that doesn't matter for him.
But yeah, a lot of pro Brittany Griner people are like, well, what's the difference? It's the same thing. I mean, kind of, but not really. I don't know. This is the problem that I have with when it comes to a lot of
I read some of the arguments. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I read some of the arguments about how all she did was have some weed. Jesus, have some weed. Like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, yeah, but their country rules were, well, first of all, Russia's in the middle of a damn war. So let's get that out of the way first. And then also, she knew it was wrong. This is not something he planned on doing. She knew what she was doing. This was an accident. So I'm kind of with you. I'm 50-50 on it. It's like, do you still have to? Yeah, this is very true by Tim, by the way. That was good. I'm sure I'm going to get kicked off YouTube. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to follow their laws. You're kind of a guest in their country, right? You have to abide by their rules, like just as if somebody was here from Japan and did the same thing. You go by our rules, but I don't know. Something about this just hits differently. But you're right. The parallel there is really strange. And of course, there's other parallels that I've read online that as to why, if he was to get off, then I'm not going to go into detail here. I think we all know what that is. But yeah, he's still white,
and he's white.
Yeah, I mean, he got 3 years. I mean, it's not a walk in the park, you know.
No.
He's got punished, so I don't see what the big deal is here. I mean, his family's going to suffer. I don't know. I just think, I wanted to get your take on that as an ex-military individual, like how you really felt about that.
Well, the thing that's really kind of griping me about it is so many people are standing on their freaking soapbox screaming for Brittany Griner as a political freaking whatever. And it's like, a political prisoner? Like, okay,
she's not a political.
You will put so much effort into getting her back, but yet you have a family man who is serving in the military, and you'll just crickets. Nobody's saying a word about it. Nobody's screaming for Biden administration to get him back.
No.
I just don't understand. Like, if you're gonna be so hardcore about getting her back, why wouldn't you be hardcore about getting him back? And it's weird. Like, a lot of the ranting back and forth that I hear about people who aren't. Yeah, there's another solid comment by
Tim, our boy Tim. Guy always knows how to break the ice in the conversation, doesn't he?
Yeah,
No, I agree with you there. Yeah, I don't know, but I wanted to pick your brain on that. I'm glad we talked about it. I'm glad you brought it up because it wouldn't have been on my radar initially, and then when you mentioned it, I looked it up and I was like, wow, this is pretty. But of course, it doesn't get the same traction as Brittany Griner because it's not a celebrity or an athlete, right? So,
and that's
kind of past.
That's the truth of it, right there.
So, switching gears a little bit, talking about worthless and Washington and politicians. So this came up just before we actually started the show. Now, this doesn't mean anything yet, so people don't panic. But we have this. Now, when you read semi-automatic gun ban, you're thinking, well, what is every gun on the planet? Just most guns on the majority of them just banned. It's really for assault, what they claim are assault weapons. If you read into it a little more, we knew this was going to pass the House because the House sucks, and they're run by mostly by one specific political party. And they went on their soapboxes and got emotional and did all that. Now, I don't know. People are pretty sure that the Senate won't pass this, and I kind of tend to agree with them. But let me ask you something: is this the closest we've ever gotten to like that point where we're thinking, it will never happen. It will never happen. It will never. If it didn't happen after Sandy Hook, then it will never happen. Like, are we getting to a point where we're starting to have a little bit of fear? Do you have that fear? Like, holy shit, this. I'm not saying it will happen now, but I definitely will see a full gun ban in our lifetime. The way politics are shifting, or do you see it kind of just being status quo, just a fight politically between these two parties?
I think it's going to be the latter. I think it's going to be anytime that certain political party is in power, they're going to keep trying to do things like this. Very extreme. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. But it's not really going to affect us. I mean, I work in the firearms industry. I've seen a little bit of an uptick from like ATF making mandates on things and changing definitions of things.
Sure.
So is it annoying? Yes.
Of course.
Is it now for a place like Arizona, does it affect us? Absolutely not. We can do whatever the hell we want here in Arizona, pretty much.
Sanctuary. Yeah, gun sanctuary state and all.
Yeah, like Arizona, Alaska, Texas, like we have some of the best gun laws in the United States.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect us, but I can see people in other states where this is really going to start affecting them a lot.
Oh, yeah. And again, what will happen is if this doesn't get passed by the Senate, they'll use this as a political talking point, a major one for the midterm elections. And let's face it, I mean, they don't have anything else. It's going to be abortion and gun violence because they really have to stick to that because they have nothing else. Even with what's his name saying that there's no recession, we're in a recession. He's just a fool. I mean, honestly, there's a recession. We're in a recession. We're not coming out of it for any time soon. It's going to get worse. We talked about our home prices dropping recently, me and you and my parents. Now, that was bound to happen. But, yeah, stuff like this with this gun stuff. I mean, that was kind of a late-breaking thing. So we'll get maybe more into that next week when we have more time. But when it actually starts getting to the Senate, to the House, to the floor to vote. But, they're going to use it as a talking point. Oh, they don't care about your children. They don't care about kid safety, which is all bullshit. For them to come out and just blatantly say Republicans or whoever don't care about children, it's stupid. But people will buy into it because it's an emotional subject. Listen, whether you lean conservative, libertarian, a little to the right, we're all, me and you, Tim, whoever who's listening, probably most of them are very strong pro to Second Amendment. Does anybody want children to die in this group? No. I don't want my children to die. I want to protect children from bad people, just like the guy in Indiana, which that became a political thing. Like, oh, he still broke the law. It's like, yeah, but he also saved how many people's lives by being there with the gun? If he wasn't, then you'd have 20 dead people, possibly more. Speaking of worthless, can we talk real quick? We're going to end this with, I don't want to say we believe in conspiracy theories, but we kind of do. We have theories. We talk about this all the time. We're going to do a show on this. I want to do a whole show just based on the most popular conspiracy theories, what we believe, what we might not believe. That's going to be something that we're going to target. I know we talked about that, and we're going to have to plan that out. That might be one of the good shows to do together live at the future studios of Tanner's WhiskeyBanger Garage Central. Down the road. WhiskeyBanger says he'll have his whiskey, I'll have my bubbly, and I think that's a great subject to talk about together. But speaking of this, so this video came out with Biden earlier in the week where there's a lot of people saying it's a body double, it's what's the word? Deep faked. Yeah. I'm gonna play this. I want to see what people think. I don't even care if we get copyrighted for this anymore because this is funny. So I want to see. This is the differences between the same day between Biden. Now, it could be a lighting thing. It could just be a different angle. I'm going to play this, and you people tell me what you think. Let me make sure I got the volume up here.
Could be a freaking Android.
Could be an Android.
I've seen Blade Runner.
Hey, this is Westworld, bro. You seen the show? Shit happened. All right, watch. I'm going to play this. You tell me what you think.
Folks, as we fight inflation, we can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. Bringing down gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days. Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations in the United States. The price of gas is $3.99 or less.
You know what?
Brave.
Hold on a second. Kind of helps to put this into the stream.
Pro-insurrection and pro-cop.
Let's do that again.
Let's try that again.
Sorry about that, people. That was my bad.
Pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations.
That's so creepy.
The price of gas is $3.99 or less. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. How do we get the price down?
It's weird because it doesn't even sound like him.
Okay, so that was that. Right? Okay, so that's the thing. All right. We get it, Joe. Sleepy Joe. Go take your pills. That's scary. And now listen, you got people coming out like Tim was saying. Enough with the lighting, and hopefully I make it through the night. I don't want the freaking Secret Service coming through my door. He didn't blink one time. Generally, during the second video where he was talking about if you're a pro. Now, to me, it looked very suspicious. Now, again, I'm not going to say it is a body double or whatever. What the hell was that? That was one of the creepiest videos I've ever seen because he sounded differently. Now, was he just drugged up on some whatever they needed him to do to get him awake for that second interview or a second conference? Or
pop some fentanyl?
I'm thinking the Westworld Android shit here. That's what I'm thinking, man, because that did not look right to me. Just saying. He didn't blink, like people are stating. He didn't blink. He still hasn't blinked. I know he had COVID recently, so did something happen to him? And they used, listen, there's a movie that came out a long time ago with Kevin Kline. It's an old, not stupid. It's called Dave. I don't know if people remember the movie Dave.
Yep.
Where the real president, had a stroke, and there was a body double who looked just like him, and he convinced the people. Now, let me ask you a question, Tanner. Now, we're going to get into some in our conspiracy theory show. What the hell do you make of this? And is it possible that was a real body double? Or are we just seeing shit that we shouldn't be seeing for another 30 years with technology, holograms, or whatever that was?
First off, I need to get bleach for my eyes from watching that because that was the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think it's a deep fake. I think it's somebody standing there and they're doing some kind of it looks like Biden. It doesn't sound like Biden. We already talked about the ear thing. You have a lobe that's connected.
Scary. Yeah.
It's weird. Very, very weird.
I don't get, I do get why they would do it, but it still baffles me that this is the most popular president of all time, right? 81 million votes? I can't even speak. Votes. Just think about this. This is what gave me nightmares the other night. Somebody mentioned this on Twitter, and they go, we're one heartbeat away from Kamala Harris being president.
Dude.
And that's scarier than what I just saw.
Yeah, we're one COVID vaccination from Kamala being the freaking president.
I like this comment, and not everybody's gonna get this, but I do. So this is one of the funniest things I've seen. So people in the chat in the thing who are baseball fans remember when Pujols. It's a baseball thing, but he hit a home run in a playoff game. I don't think the ball has landed yet. He hit it in Houston against the Astros. I think the ball might land before Biden blinks, though, because whatever they got him hopped up on, it seems to be working. What the hell? Okay, by the way, to switch gears real quick, and I can't play it. Did you see that Sylvester Stallone's making a superhero movie that's going to Amazon Prime?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen anything about it.
It's called Samaritan. It looks like an Amazon Prime movie, but it's Sylvester Stallone. So do you give Stallone the benefit of the doubt there and just, I'll watch it because it's him? Absolutely.
I'll watch anything with Sly Stallone involved.
Yeah, even his worst movies, I end up listen. Tango and Cash. Tango and Cash to me is one of my favorite movies of his, and it's the worst movie he's probably made, and I still love it. But who doesn't love it? Yeah, I don't know why. I kind of changed gears because I saw something about it here, but I wasn't sure if you saw that. But yeah, there's a lot of weird shit going on this week. We actually got all that content down into 1 hour, which is last week. I think we went on for 2.5.
Like 2.5 hours, dude. We just didn't stop talking.
It was like we talk a lot of football. It was great. I love talking. I don't, if I had I don't mind it. But yeah. So, any subjects that anybody ever wants to talk about that not covering in any future shows, please leave it in the comments. No, not you, Tim. We know what you would talk about. Talk about your boyfriend, girlfriend, Brittany Griner, and trying to get her out of Russia, and how you need a soapbox to stand on to hug her. I might do my own personal show Sunday for the baseball trade deadline. I don't know. I know Tanner's not going to be on that because he doesn't care. But
baseball sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I might do something like that. Might do some with some of the fans that I've friends I've made on social media lately. That might be a fun show. Maybe we'll see. I'll let everybody know about that. But is there anything else, Tanner, you want to add? Anything else you want to talk about at this point? Anything else you want to rant about? Hockey? No, we're not going to talk about hockey, Tim.
Hockey's
anything.
one of those sports where it's like I can go to a hockey game and like have a good time, but I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't know what I'm watching.
It's like,
I know enough to like get the
Yamaguchi with a stick. Like I don't.
Yamaguchi with a bunch of Russian people just beating the shit out of each other.
Now, yes, like are there some big hits in hockey? Fist fights. Cool. Like I'm all about that.
Fun. Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on. Like when they say icing, I don't know what that means.
There's that. There's offsides. There's a lot of things that I didn't understand. I do like watching playoff hockey because I think it's the atmosphere is great and it's intense and the fan bases are crazy.
We'll give them that. They have, hockey fans are very
rabid fan bases, and I gotta respect the athletes because that shit. I mean, people talk about football. Would you rather go to a hockey? That's a good question for you, Tanner. I think you understand baseball maybe a little more.
I think I would rather go to a baseball game because I know enough about baseball to actually watch and follow. Right. Hockey, it's just like put puck in net. That's it. That's all I know.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you're a non-sports fan, what atmosphere would you rather be around? I got to tell you, I'm a baseball fan, so I know what I would pick, but I think you would probably relax more at a baseball game. You get the general idea of what's going on. Even if you've played Little League, you get the general idea. I don't know hockey games. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're fun, but I got to give respect to the athletes because that shit is. I agree, Tim. Baseball playoffs are definitely. And I do know a lot of people. I don't know if Tanner's this way, but a lot of people who just don't like baseball at all during the regular season, but they will watch some playoff baseball.
Yeah, that's my dad.
He's your dad. Okay, I thought you remember you
watch baseball in the regular season, but when the playoffs would come, I would swing by my parents' house and he's watching baseball. Like, what are you doing? He's like, "No, this game is good," and I'm like, "Come on."
Hey, I know a lot of people like that. I think it's because the atmosphere changes, and it's every game. It's kind of like football in that sense. Where in the playoffs, every game matters.
Yes,
finally, right?
Like what we were talking about last episode. Like baseball annoys me because the games don't matter. So when you get to playoff baseball. Yes, the game matters. So I could see why people would like it.
I like that comment. It's pretty good. He's right too.
I don't know who this great guy is, but I like him.
He's great. No, he's a guy I met on believe it or not, was it on Truth Social? And there's a great group of Met fans that I met there. It's funny, man, because I didn't want to get on another social media app, and then somebody's like, "No, it's a group of Met fans." I was like, fine. It helps promote the show, so I said fine, and then. These lovely people, we just chat it's a great group. We chat during the games. We are not argue. We play fight, and we just kind of vent, and it's awesome. And a lot of them subscribe, so I really appreciate all those Met fans on True Social who did subscribe to this. That's the big reason why our live count went up. You guys are awesome. So this guy Greg, he cracks me up, man. He fell off the bicycle. The idiot fell over his dog. His dog, the one that passed away. I agree. The guy really is shy. It's kind of like no, Tim. Truth Social is isn't it Trump? It's Trump. Trump owns it. It's not why I joined. So I don't know why people are going, "Oh, he's a Trump supporter." I joined it because
Tim, I don't even know what Grindr is. What's Grindr?
No, Tim knows what Grindr is. That's why he mentioned. You don't know what Grindr? You really don't know what Grindr is?
No, I don't.
Don't look it up on your phone. That's all I'll say. Someone told me
I've heard of Truth Social.
Well, I think because it was polarizing because of who started it, right? Truth Social, so that makes sense, right? Grinder is a how do we say this? That's somewhere Obi-Wan would want to travel to look for love.
Oh, so
the new Obi-Wan.
It's like a dating app.
Yeah, but it's for switch hitters.
Okay. So Tim.
Oh, that's why Tim mentioned it.
See, it all makes sense.
They take short half Filipino men who like their gardener's name. What was his name? Ronaldo
the gardener.
No, Tanner, do not look it up on your company computer, please, what Grinder is.
I'm not going to do that. Sorry.
Do it at all. You're a happily married man. Don't listen to Tim. He tries to get us in trouble all the time, this guy. It's just crazy. Let me see. Did he have... Would I be surprised if our president had brain aneurysms? No, they're propping him up.
Would I be surprised if he wasn't in like severe health issues right now?
Yeah, and they're using some Terminator robot. I want to talk about something next week. I wanted to hit on it today, but we had so many subjects about this dystopian city that they want to build with walls around it. It's kind of like Blade Runner, or they make it sound like it's this magical place. I don't know if you heard about this, but it's this futuristic city where everybody has the same equity and views and the same food, and you don't need cars, and they make it look beautiful. It looks like the scariest. Alice is watching Greg.
Who the hell?
No. Well, I can't tell you who Alice is because I'll ruin a storyline for you from a certain book that I just finished reading.
Oh yeah, don't spoil it.
Well, this is Tim. This is what. By the way, Tanner, if you need, I know you haven't read the last book, right?
I have not.
Okay, I have In the Blood. If you want to borrow it sometime when you actually.
I haven't read the last two.
Well, you're a busy man. You got kids.
I'm behind, man. I'm sorry.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you have time to read it all? I know you're doing this now, but do you have time?
I will say, yes, I'm super busy now, and I do have time to read. But I have been, like, Stranger Things came out, freaking Reacher, and then.
Oh, by the way, I gotta get in on that.
So we've been watching a lot of
because you could do it together,
TV and stuff, like Cassie and I.
I want to watch Reacher. God, I want to watch it. You got to have the time. I think what'll probably happen is like on Labor Day weekend. I know it seems far off, but it's not that far off. That's one of those weekends where I can binge watch a show because I have an extra day. Some of us don't want spoilers. Yeah, Jamie is just getting up. She's on Savage Son right now. She finally got through True Believer after 15 years because it's 99 chapters in that beginning. She liked it. It got better. I will say, though, her reading the Jack Carr books, the James Reese novels, she's helping me because, again, I haven't read them in a while. And I don't know about you. I think for some people who haven't read a book in a while, it's different than a movie. There's so much detail. I forgot a lot of stuff. But then when she's talking to me about what happened, then I start bringing up stuff. Oh, that happened. That's right. And then this happens later on. But she's liking it so far, even though it's not her genre. It's going to ruin her. I told her for the next season of the show, though, because she's going to do what I did in the first season. Go, wait, that didn't happen. But that did. Let me ask you this. Let's do this real quick before we end the show, because I know you probably have to go. But does watching a TV show or a movie when you've read the books ruin the experience? This is the debate that's been going on for a long time. I had an argument with somebody about this on Twitter the other day. Does it ruin it, or does it just make you aware of the differences and you could kind of push past it? Are you that kind of person that can go, all right, I can let that go?
I feel like if you watch the movie or show first and then read the books, it can kind of ruin it for you because the book is the true adaptation. Mm-hmm. So, like, for me, the one that ruined it for me was Platoon. I watched the movie first, and I did really like the movie. I thought it was great.
Great movie, yeah.
But then I read the book afterwards, and I was like, the book was even better. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, yes. Now, me personally, I don't really care so much about spoilers, right? Like, I know some people do. Like, I get it. So I try not to spoil things for people. But for me personally, like, if someone tells me, it's like, whatever,
Sure.
I'm still going to watch it or read it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're going to get into something, for the most part, definitely read the books first and then get into the show. Now, like you said, for Jamie, this isn't her genre. Like,
No, but she's enjoying it. I mean, she's sticking with it. I'm proud of her.
And I'm glad she is, because it's like, I know she likes a lot of true crime stuff.
True crime and like, that kind of stuff. Well, there is some element of that kind of in this book, but it's really not the basis of it. But I think because she liked the show so much, you're right, it was reversed for her. Or I think you're right. I think reading the book is more beneficial. Fucking Tim.
Yeah, and she had said like she really liked the ending of Terminal List, like the show. And
better than the book.
It was a great ending. It was just different.
It was different. I can look past it. Tim, I know, had a problem with it. I don't blame people who had have a problem. Dude. She made it past the goddamn boat part. Oh, dude. In True Believer, there's a part with the beginning that goes on. I mean, how many chapters does that first part of that book go on when he's on the boat? I mean, it just never ended.
Way too many.
I get what they were trying to do. I get what Jack Harr was doing. He's a good writer, actually. He's trying to really build this sense of isolation for Reese, right? I'm not spoiling anything. It begins the same way it ends in the freaking show. If you never read the book, but the isolation of being alone and going through everything that happened. But did it have to go on for like? I don't know. It felt like half the book.
Yeah,
and there was
way too long.
True Believer had a million characters. I mean, again, the way the book ended was phenomenal. Halfway through that book, it gets really good, and then it ends great. His newest book, Tanner, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I will say the only thing is, I think I've made this analogy before. It's like the action-packed sequel that's still good. Not on the top level as the original or the first two, but it's a nonstop fun adventure. I don't know how you compare that to like a movie. I always compare like the Die Hard with a Vengeance compared to the first Die Hard. Like it's you just watch it because it's ridiculous, but you're having a blast. That's kind of how I feel In the Blood was. What does Tim say? What's most likely to happen? Okay, he says what's most likely to happen first: Reese getting off the freaking or Biden blinking. I think Reese getting off the boat.
Yeah, I think Reese. Yeah.
And I love True Believer. I wouldn't say that I was really like, oh God, what am I reading here? It was more of like Tanner warned me. Tim warned me when I got the book because they read it way before I did. Like you're gonna go nuts in that first half, and I told him
mad for like the first
I told Jamie too. It never ends, but it's great. Jack Carr's great. There's a lot I heard recently. There's talks about they're talking to Chris Pratt about coming back for season 2 of the show, and I think they're just gonna name it Terminal List, which makes sense. Season 2.
Just call it like Terminal List, freaking True Believer.
True Believer. Yeah. Just there you go. Yeah, have an underline heading next to it. You're right. That's actually a really good idea.
All the seasons just be Terminal List, and then
just be the secondary name of the just be underneath. Yeah, I agree. What did Jamie say here? I just don't know how they are going to sell me on Reese and Katie in the the Katie in the books. Yes. Yeah. In the show,
it bothers me in the show a little bit.
I don't see them. To me, the chemistry just doesn't seem to be there yet.
Well, and the reason why the chemistry isn't there is because the endings are so different.
And the character's different.
Ending in the book lays out. It was such a more extreme ending to where it was like, oh my God,
So what I
understand why she has this like feeling for him as the ending of the show. It just kind of
I agree, and I think what they're going to probably do, which I read and makes sense because there's so much content in the books. They're just going to mix and match different parts of the books and just kind of put them into the seasons. So you'll have parts of True Believer maybe and Savage Son. What's the third book? What was the third book? Is it Savage Son? Son. You'll have parts of Savage Son kind of mixing in towards parts of True Believer's second season. Or like they kind of have to, from what I understand, they want to do 5 or 6 seasons. There's how many books? 6 books now. You got to have to kind of combine them at some point.
Which is fine.
If the show like, and again, talking about Reacher, but there's how many Reacher books? Like a million of them, right? I don't know how the show falls in line with the books. I know it's probably the character is more accurate, the main character. Same thing with like you said, Lord of the Rings and I don't know, Harry Potter's and all those kinds of things. I think you're right. Reading the books is probably beneficial. Some people hate it though when the movies get changed. It does ruin some experiences for people. I remember when I read, you're gonna laugh, the movie Goodfellas. There was a book called Wise Guy who was written by an FBI agent. Fantastic book, right? There was a lot of differences. I was shocked how the names were changed in the book to the movie, how the character development was so much more richer in the book. what is it? What is Tim saying? It's not fine. I'm still not okay with the ending of the TV show. Well, you know what, Tim? You know who's okay with it? Amazon, because it's still #1 after a month.
Yep.
So this is the beauty of disagreement, right? Anyway.
Well, it's weird because I agree with Tim.
Sure.
But
I like the ending of the book.
But I also agree with Jamie. It's like the ending of the show was done very well.
It was. They did a good job with the ending, so I didn't mind it. All I said is that there was a difference.
Yes.
We noticed it. And I here's the thing. People who did Reacher is a direct pull from one of the Yeah, and I think season 2 of Reacher is going to be based off books 11. I just read today. So yeah, you're right. Okay, and that that's fine. I never read the Reacher books.
Reacher is good, dude. Like I never read the books.
I want to watch it.
My mom read the books. I know Tim read some of the books.
They're popular.
The show was it was fun, dude. Like I really enjoyed the show. It's not as good, like Terminal List is definitely better. Like don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a fun show. Like there's one scene, I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but it's basically there's a scene where it's like a flashback for Reacher and he's back in Iraq or wherever the hell he was. And it really took me out of it because like his uniform was all dicked up and he looks fucking stupid. And I was like,
it just felt forced in kind of.
Yeah. Like it just felt really.
Well, let me ask you this,
but overall it was good.
Since you watched it, this is the one complaint. Yeah. Like kind of like what you just said. Most people like Terminal List better. Some people thought that the budget for Reacher, a low budget, it kind of presented itself a lot in the show where they could have benefited from spending a little more money on the production.
Yeah. Like there's
some of it looked a little cheap.
Yeah, like there's some scenes where there's like, I'll just say there's action going on. I won't get into spoilers or anything. Sure. There's action going on, right? Like gunshots and whatnot. And you can tell like it's just CGI, like it doesn't look that great. But that's not the point of the show though. The show is like, it has some good plot twists. The action's good. The main character, freaking Thad Castle, is a boss. Like he
fits the character.
Dude is an absolute freaking monster. Freight train.
Yeah, good. No, I want to watch it. I'm gonna definitely get into it. So, my child, we got this movie. movie you might actually like. That just came out recently. It's called The Black Phone. Have you heard about this with Ethan Hawke? Yeah. Of course, it's a horror movie. I think you're gonna break the record for telling him to shut up. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, we tell Tim to shut up a lot because he never stops talking. We need more Alex Moran. What do you think about that, Tanner? We need more Alex Moran.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Listen, I can't get into this right now because we already did an hour and 15 minutes. I will watch Reacher. I will watch this movie, Black Phone. Anyway, is a horror movie, but it's not the kind of horror movie I like. More of the psychological thriller type. I'll let you know how it is. It's getting great reviews and it's made a shit ton of money and people really like it. So if it's good, I know you kind of like those movies too.
Yeah, where's it at? Where can I watch it?
I know you can rent it on iTunes or Amazon or whatever else. So that's probably or Vudu. There's a million ways you can get it. So I'll check it out tomorrow. That's going to be our nightly Saturday night movie. And then I'll let you know. I know we like to give our reviews to each other about recommending movies, especially. That's always fun. Tim, I don't trust with any pop culture at all.
Tim,
I don't know what the hell he likes.
Tim blows my mind. Like, Tim plays one video game, MLB The Show 2014.
No, NBA 2K, whatever it is, too.
NBA 2K 2017, whatever. It's like I could understand someone who doesn't watch a lot of shows or movies because they're playing video games. I understand that. But he doesn't do either. Like, he doesn't watch a lot of movies. He doesn't watch a lot of TV shows. And he only plays, like, MLB The Show. So I'm just like, what? Like, Jesus Christ.
Are you one of the people, Tim, that got your thing hacked from Ashley Madison and Allie found out?
I bet you Tim has an OnlyFans.
Well, you got a grinder, I'll tell you that much. We know what Tim likes, right? Yeah, I agree with you. Like, Tim is an anomaly when it comes to movie. You know what?
Yeah, Jamie just nailed it.
Jamie nailed it. Yeah, he does have the worst taste because I can't suggest. Have you ever seen Top Gun? Well, no, he saw Top Gun. What was one of the movies we saw? Oh God, was it Predator? He still hasn't seen Predator, or he did, but it took him forever to watch it.
It took him forever to see Predator, like the original Predator movie, which blows my mind.
I'm on C. Yeah, okay, Tim. What was the great movie? Oh, jeez.
Oh,
The one with Ben
movie?
Affleck.
Uh,
Oh God, what's that movie that was? Oh God,
Triple Frontier.
Triple Front.
I'm sorry, Tim. I hated that movie. It was
Damn,
terrible.
that movie was bad. It was bad. You know why it was bad? Because it, just like everything else Netflix does, it was absolute plot trash. Good cast. I don't even like Ben Affleck, and I was like, all right. Netflix. Has Netflix ever made a good original movie?
There's been a couple of movies that I watched that were actually like.
Would you consider The Irishman an original movie?
Irishman was a good one.
I mean, technically it's a Scorsese movie, but it did Netflix. It was their movie. So
yeah, it was a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
There was a
Extraction was okay with Chris Hemsworth, right? Not a great plot. Good action scenes. Terrible plot.
There was a movie that Cassie and I watched. It had Ryan Reynolds, and it was actually pretty good. Like we actually enjoyed it. It was kind of funny, and it was kind of like one of those heartfelt, funny movies.
Was it the one with The Rock?
No, it was the one where he's like,
okay, good, because I hate that.
He's like, he goes back in time to like
Underground. Oh yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good.
We watched that movie too. I forgot what it's called. It was okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No. I know the name of it. It's whether his girlfriend tries to save him or his wife, whatever, his future wife, and then yes. I remember. I forgot the name of it. I remember I liked the first half of the movie, and then the second half of the movie kind of meh. But Mark, my boy, Mr. Politico, Mark Ruffalo, the woke Hulk. Got that. Yeah, Paul Rudd was in. Paul Rudd wasn't in that movie, was he? Paul Rudd wasn't in the movie. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. That wasn't Paul Rudd. Yeah, mate. No. Yo, do you remember the CGI in that movie though, with the one with Ryan Reynolds, the one we were just talking about, how like the woman who was supposed to play her younger self looked like something that my child would do on a at the end. I forgot what the name of the character was, but that was bad.
Yeah, like the CGI wasn't great.
No.
The acting was
it was okay.
It was a fun. I'll put it this way: it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
Cassie and I, we just decided, hey, let's watch this, and we actually enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad. It was one of the movies like I was like, all right. I didn't totally want to kill myself after watching this because it's Netflix, right? What I liked about it in the beginning is I forgot what the name of this damn movie is. Could somebody find out what the name of this movie is, please?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up because I'm losing my mind here. I like the beginning of the movie because you did feel for the kid and his loss of his dad and all that. That was interesting. I just thought the ending kind of fell into that typical sci-fi, like they try to be a little too cute with the ending, but overall it wasn't terrible. No.
Yeah, it's called The Adam Project.
The Adam Project, that's right.
And it was actually pretty good.
I like Ryan Reynolds, so I usually give him the benefit. Usually give him the benefit of the doubt. Ryan Reynolds, not Paul Rudd. Wow, that's totally
how dare you? Now, don't get me wrong. I like Paul Rudd. He's funny.
I like Paul Rudd. I like Ryan Reynolds. I have a thing, Tanner, and I want to know if you agree with me here because we don't always agree on everything. But I kind of got into a thing with the wife, not an argument, but just I like Ryan Reynolds a lot. I think he's funny. He's great with Deadpool. Sometimes I think he is a one-trick pony, and a lot of his stuff just kind of is like, all right, it's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. Do you ever get to a point where you're like, can he do anything differently? Kind of like where Chris Pratt was with The Terminalist. Like, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I like Ryan Reynolds. I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he's funny, but it seems like that's all we get from him is the same quick responses, quick jabs. Does that get old after a while to you?
Well, I'll say this. Ryan Reynolds, his entire acting career is Van Wilder. Yeah. That's just what he is in every movie, even Deadpool. Like, he's just the smart ass, talk shit, say something funny, but I don't care because I still like it.
That's the thing.
I don't think he's a great actor as far as like, I'm not going to put him up there with like Al Pacino or something, but like for what he is, I enjoy watching him.
He does it well. And it works for Deadpool because that character is he's perfect.
Cassie and I both watched Deadpool 1 and 2 and we love them. Those movies are great.
Great movie.
We watched The Proposal. That movie's funny.
Yes.
Because I mean, of course,
I like him.
Bullock and you got freaking Ryan Reynolds. They're both hilarious.
And I like him a lot. You're right. I do. He's one of the guys that I can actually go, okay, he doesn't bother me. Even though even Chris Pratt never bothered me. I never thought he was a great actor. I mean, I know how much you love Guardians of the Galaxy, but
fucking Star-Lord. So the dick.
Stupid Star-Lord. More like Star Grinder, if you know what I mean. But no, I agree. There's certain actors where I can be like, okay, like Kevin Hart. I can't stand Kevin Hart. Can't stand him. I think he's the most overrated comedian, actor. All he does is scream. He's basically Tim, but he's Kevin Hart. Yeah, but black.
Yeah,
he might be shorter than Tim,
which is crazy because Tim says he's 5'7". I'm thinking he's like 5'4.5".
Well, Tim's the kind of guy who needs the blocks on his shoes to drive his car,
which is fitting because he's Asian. Right?
Yeah. So there's only certain actors I let get away with that shit. I don't know why that is. It is what it is. It's just a way. Like Stallone. Stallone can make 65 bad movies, and I still like the guy.
Oh, dude, I'll watch every single one of them.
I mean, the guy's made some bad movies.
Okay, let me ask you this: what's the worst Stallone movie?
Oh my god, there's a lot, and I love the guy. I would probably say the two worst movies I've ever. I'll go with two. There was one movie he tried to make as a comedian. It was called Oscar, where he plays a gangster. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? You remember the movie Oscar? It's a comedy where
I've never seen it though.
One of the most painful things I've ever seen him try to do. And then there was another one that I don't know if you know the story where Stallone actually got tricked into making this movie by Arnold Schwarzenegger back when they were rivals in the 90s. That was called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yep. Horrible.
Bad. And he admits to this day that what happened was Schwarzenegger told the studio, yeah, I'll do this just so his agent would tell Stallone's agent and get Stallone to make the movie. And he did because he thought that's Celine Dion. All he does is, oh God, now we're getting into sensitive territory.
Dude, Jamie's
listen. You don't have to like Celine Dion, but Jamie is gonna cut you,
bro.
You are gonna have to find something else, but other than Grinder, to satisfy your needs, because that's fighting words right there. I would probably say those two movies. He's probably made other ones that I can't think of. I don't know. Do you have any specific ones?
Judge Dredd is probably my.
Oh God, I forgot about Judge Dredd.
That movie is horrendous.
I went back and watched that. Actually, you know what? It was on Netflix, I think, and I watched it. I can't believe how bad. Now, when you watch that one and the newer one that came out, I don't know how many years ago.
Dredd is awesome. With
how that movie didn't get a sequel. Yeah, how that movie didn't get a sequel is a travesty. Because that was an amazing movie, and it fit the character. Yeah. Jamie's gonna kill you, Tim. It was nice knowing you, by the way. You're not gonna make it to the holidays, by the way.
Nope.
No. Yeah. So that was Dredd was bad. I mean, Schwarzenegger's made a few duds, but I do like Stallone better. I think he's made more classic. Escape Plan. Yeah, Escape Plan's not a good movie.
Escape Plan wasn't good.
That wasn't a good movie. Well, even because it had them. I mean, even, listen. I thought the Expendables movies were okay. A little disappointing. I mean, it was fun seeing all the characters together again, even though they're 105 now. And
yeah, what annoys me about those movies is like, okay, the premise is these old action stars. Okay, cool. But then you got guys like Jason Statham. Like that dude was.
He's not really old.
Yeah, he was like in movies like 2010.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren was in. Like, I get it. There was a couple of MMA fighters, and Chuck Norris. Like, I get the idea. It's fun. But I think Wesley Snipes was in one. I think they're making another one. There's a fourth one. How does Stallone keep going? He's like 90, isn't he? I don't know. He's in his mid 70s.
78.
Yeah.
Which is still crazy.
You gotta love the guy though. I mean, just for Rocky and Rambo alone, which I watch a lot.
Yeah. Now we've talked about this before, but I want to know your answer online. Mm-hmm. What's better, Rocky as a whole or Rambo as a whole? That's tough.
I love Rambo. I gotta probably say Rocky overall.
Yeah.
I think the quality of movies with Rocky, even though there were some really bad ones, like 5. I think the movies were just a better movies. 1 and 2 were great. 3 was fun. 4 was just 4. 4 was just The good old MTV music video beating the shit out of Russian people. It was great. I know you haven't seen the director's cut yet, have you?
I haven't, no.
I still like the original one better, but the director's cut is interesting because he tried to make it a lot like the first two movies. It was very interesting. I thought it was good. Rocky V was probably the worst. Not only Rocky movie, one of his worst movies ever. And then he made up for it with Rocky Balboa. And when Rocky Balboa came out, I was like, this movie, what are you, dude? I remember I went to see it on Christmas. It was great.
Yeah, I liked Rocky.
Brought back the original vibe of Rocky. I think Rocky's I love Rambo though. I love Rambo 1. Rambo 1 First Blood was actually a good movie, not just a good action movie. It was a real good movie. It was considered a drama, not even an action movie, which is weird till the end when he starts acting. But the premise of just that, nothing is over. I mean, even though the ending was a little cringy, the movie overall, I get the meaning, the whole deeper meaning of the movie was great. Rambo 2, he just said, fuck it, man. I'm going straight out, balls out. We're blowing up Vietnam. We're killing everybody with bows and arrows, and this is the franchise I want. And then Rambo 3, he helped what became ISIS, so that wasn't a good look, but back then we didn't know that. And then, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So Rocky, what was the next one? Rambo. What was after Rambo 3? It was Rambo. Was that the one Rambo. Where he? That was the one where he just blows people up with the 50 cal.
Yeah, the 50 cal with all like the Christian doctors who were trying to.
Yeah, which I actually liked the movie.
I thought it was great. I love that movie.
And if you want to see a better version of that movie, there's a director's cut. It's actually a little bit better. It has a little more story between him and the girl. I don't know why these directors. He directed the movie. What are you cutting your best parts out of your own movie for? But he, violent. Oh my god, that movie was so over the top, cartoonish, violent, but it was fucking great. And the last one he made was Last Blood. I don't think it was his best movie, but it was fun.
There were some really stupid freaking parts in that movie.
Yes.
But there are also some parts like when he's
like the ending,
where I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Like he didn't have to make that movie. It would have been fine if he didn't.
Yeah,
like we could have saw Rambo, but that kind of reminded me of what you're going to be like in 30 years. So
that is going to be me in 30 years.
It's going to be you. I'm going to come visit you
farm with underground bunkers.
Yeah,
lined with freaking Semtex and C4.
What were the shot? What did he put in the shotgun shells? What were they made out of again?
He had like, what was that? Potassium chloride.
Potassium chloride. Yeah, just blowing. Yeah, just exploding out of the shotgun, the sawed-off shotgun. That was a great ending. Yeah, so I think Rocky overall, and they're both great American classic franchises. But I think overall, Rocky definitely. People consider. I mean, the first Rocky movie won Best Picture, I think. Which I don't know if that's saying much.
Rocky is definitely a great movie.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good feel-good movie, underdog story. The second one, it was good. The rematch, and then like I said, they kind of got different as they went on. Rocky 3 was crazy because the tone shifted a lot in that movie from the first two movies. Very 80s heavy rock music and just bright lights and Mr. T. Yeah, I mean,
Clubber Lang beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, and then he's fighting Hulk Hogan. Pity the Fool. That was a good movie though. Yeah, they're all good. Yeah, so I like that franchise. I like those franchises a lot. I think his franchises overall are better than Schwarzenegger's franchises. The epic franchises. I think Terminator's great. I think Predator's great. But if you're going overall arching, what's the word I'm looking for? Just American cinema, what's ingrained. If you Rocky, Rambo, everybody knows that. Everybody knows the Terminator. I'm trying to think of what else Schwarzenegger was in that really resonates that way. I think overall the career of Stallone, just because of those two franchises, is better. I could be wrong.
No, I would agree because here's the thing. Terminator 1 and 2 were great. The rest of them sucked.
Terrible.
So I would say Terminator and Terminator 2 are better than all the Rambo and all the Rocky movies, but it's only 2 movies. And then Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's only in Predator, the first one.
One Predator, yeah. That was a great movie.
All the rest of them freaking suck.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't really have like
was okay.
he doesn't have like he didn't build like a franchise of sequels really. I'm trying to think what else.
Terminator's the only one I can think of.
Commando was basically just to counter Rambo.
Yeah.
Which I love Commando. Don't get me wrong.
Commando is the dumbest, awesome
80s cheesy.
Guy
throws a pipe.
Bennett.
He throws a pipe through someone. Let off some steam, Bennett.
I ate green berets for breakfast.
Yeah, he's great. Now you could maybe say that Stallone's overall movies better quality overall. Yes, there's more than one Predator, Tim.
There's a lot of Predator movies.
There's too many Predators movies.
There's only one that matters.
Yeah, the first one.
Second one is okay.
It's okay. I'd say the second one kind of falls in line with that, just a dumb, fun action movie to watch.
Yeah, it's just a dumb sequel.
I don't like Danny Glover.
I'm not a fan of Danny Glover.
But it was good. He doesn't know anything about movies.
Yeah, see?
Well, Tim, let's see. What's Tim's favorite show of all time? It could be anything. Sitcom, drama.
Okay.
I want to know where this goes.
I think I know what the answer is. Let's see.
You can only be American, not a foreign Asian film or a show. I know it's a tough question to answer. We did some of that last week too. We were trying to answer that.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard because like there's
so many genres.
Well, and it's like, okay, are we talking sitcom? Are we talking comedy? Are we talking dramedy? Are we talking, chick flick? Are we talking
Little House on the Prairie?
Oh
The
my
Office.
God, dude, I was wrong.
Okay, so listen, The Office is a really popular show. I don't like The Office. I get that people are like, well, you don't get the humor. No, I get the humor.
Yeah, I get the humor. It's not funny. That's the problem.
Sitcoms are tough. You got to go genre. We can do that in a future episode. Go like genre by genre of TV shows. And again, it's going to be objective. There's some subject. It's hard. I have been watching a lot with the wife. A lot of Married with Children. The older season. It's fucking show is just so funny, man. No way that show gets made today.
As a kid.
No way that show. Al Bundy is my hero. I love Psych. Psych.
See, now that's a good show. That's actually a good show.
I remember. I think I've maybe seen a few. I haven't watched it, but I know what it is. It's okay. Is Psych considered a drama or a comedy, though?
I would call it a comedy.
Comedy? Okay. That explains a lot, Tim. No, I'm just kidding. No, everybody's got their thing. Everybody sees things differently in shows. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of older shows because I think everything today kind of sucks. I have been watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended editions. Holy shit, those movies are long. Great movies, but oh my God, man. You forget. Like I know I've seen this movie 100 times. It's one of those trilogies you just kind of rewatch once in a while. You kind of skip through parts. I'm trying to skip through this one part in the first movie now because I've seen it. It's like, wait, I still have like another hour and a half to go. And it's like, holy shit, how long is this movie? It was a comedy detective show, Psych. Okay, I remember. I remember that. So it's a comedy. Okay. I don't know. I guess it's a really hard question to ask an audience because they're going to give so many varying opinions. There's so many different shows. There's too many shows. I can't keep up with all this shit. What's time to watch all this crap?
Dude, there's times where
Tanner can't even read a book.
We'll spend more time just scrolling through like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, just trying to find something to watch. That's
why lately I've been trying to find deals on TV shows or movies and just going back and watching it when I want because I know it's there, I did that with Married with Children. I got the first season for like $9 on sale. I was like, oh, perfect. That's pretty much it, though, as far as that. Yeah, I guess. Oh, by the way, there's some, just in case anybody wants to know, I'm going to share this real quick, so then we can. Elon Musk is countersuing Twitter.
He's going to win.
This is going to be great. This is going to be great. A lot of people had high hopes for him buying Twitter, that he was really going to change the platform because they're starting to do a lot of shady shit again with blocking people and this and that. But this is funny. I don't know how this is going to end. Like, can they really force him into buying the company? And then he's a smart, probably you could say the smartest man alive. One of the smart. You think he was just going to sit back and take that?
Nope.
No. This is going to be super. Like, you can even go through the comment. I like that. Yeah. Good luck. This is going to be fun. That just kind of came in late breaking, so I wanted to just throw that in there. I know we've talked 55. Again, we're going past our time, but this is what happens when you get friends together to bullshit. We don't do this in person. We probably talked more in the last 2 months than we did the last previous year, just being so busy. So this show was really great for everybody, Tanner.
Yeah, for sure. Now we just need to get Tim to actually.
Tim
on here.
I want you to be a witness here. I invited Tim to do a show with me on Sunday for the baseball trade deadline thing. Like even quick, it can be a quick show. He said he wasn't sure.
Why wasn't he sure?
He doesn't want to be. He's afraid. I get it.
What's he afraid of?
Listen, I'm not doing this professionally yet. I'm just learning. I don't have a great.
We're just some dudes hanging out talking about stuff.
What did Jamie say? I highly doubt it. Your threads are never text threads. No, I see our text threads are Tanner and Tim and I are amazing. We go on for now. Here's the thing: they get majority of the talking because a lot of the time I'll turn on my phone or iPad at 6 o'clock in the morning and Tim's already starting, which is fine. And then it's a lot of firearm stuff, a lot of college football stuff, and I kind of let them just go at it, and I'll just throw in the quick, haha, or that was a good point, kind of once in a while. Yeah, LOL, and it's fine. It's fine. Our text threads really should be on a podcast. It's amazing what we talk about. I work early too. We all get up early. I get it. Tanner's up like 4 in the morning, so there's no excuse. I like the text threads. They're fun. Even if I don't answer right away, it's because I'm busy with work, and then I kind of chime in after. But I love going back and reading the text because it's usually Tanner calling Tim a dumbass or not agreeing. But this is what guys do, though. This is why I love this. We'll call each other assholes. We'll disagree. Then 10 seconds later, it's like, all right, next subject. It's awesome. This is what people do. This is what friends do to each other. We knock each other down, bash on each other. And then we pick each other back up and go, all right, see you tomorrow. So that's what battle buddies do, right?
Leave tight, princess.
Exactly. Tim likes Grinder. I don't judge him. I
didn't even know what it was until this evening.
Now you know. I still won't look it up on your phone.
I'm not going to.
No. So other than that, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything. Do you have anything else to add? Any other things you want to talk about, or are we just kind of?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I think we're good. I know you got to probably take off anyway. I want to thank everybody who did listen. I know we had a rough beginning of the show. I played 18 different intros. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I got nervous. Tanner makes me nervous. I see those eyes. He bats the eyes at me and I get nervous. We will be back probably again next week. Again, our schedules usually change. Sometimes it might be a Friday. Sometimes it might be a Saturday. I don't know. I always get with my buddy here and we figure it out. I will play our new outro. I will try to play the correct outro.
Yes.
This time. Jesus. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for all the new subscribers. And I love my Met crew who supported us. And what does Tim got to say here before we go? It's because Tanner posts stupid shit like ACC has the. Okay. Listen, we can't get into a college football thing right now because we'll be on for another 3 hours. We will have a show. Here's what we're going to do. When college football comes roaring back soon, just like I want to do a baseball thing. I know this is weird. YouTube doesn't like this for their algorithms, and some of the audience might not like it. We love college football. We will have a right before the season, we're going to have our own college football show. It's all it's going to be. We'll talk about who we like, who we favor, who's going to be the stars of the year, surprise teams. Probably be an hour long. Tim, if you have the balls, get off Grinder and stop putting your pee out for men to touch.
You touch spring roll?
I mean, if we want to get on, hey, that's something we can also maybe do live, like in person together. It's a possibility. I think that would be fun. It's going to be coming up soon because we're getting close. When does the actual season start?
28 days. Nebraska football.
So we have 28 days for games to start. We have 28 days to get this situated. I think that's going to be a great idea. Whether or not we can get in person, we'll do a show. Of course, it'll be mostly Tim and Tanner talking because they have much more experience in college football. But I'll be there. I'll be there with the cool little things flashing across. And then we're going to play this. And we're going to do all kinds of cool shit. All right, let me make sure. Hold on. I'm a little slow.
28 days is week 0.
Yes.
First game of the season is Nebraska, Northwestern, and Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Coming
awesome.
up quick, dude.
All right, so that's a game we have to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that together. It's 28 days, week 0. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So Tim, if you have the balls and the guts to actually get, you know what the problem with Tim is too? When they're seeing this live, they're delayed a minute, like almost a minute. So he doesn't know. That's why he comments really late. But I'm not gonna. I don't care. I'm gonna let you go. I know you got things to do. Thanks for coming on again. Whiskey Cannolis, this podcast. This was episode number 4. Again, love the support. Love all the new subscribers. I hope to get more. Hopefully, I can make more videos in the future. And I think that's it. So, Whiskey Banger, I will be talking to you soon. We'll schedule a new time and say hello to the family, kiss the kid, and we're out. Peace out, and see you next time.